You're listening to KSG Podcast. This is a short, crisp, concise, exam-oriented, edited editorial for civil services aspirants. In this podcast, we are going to talk about GSLV MkIII lifting India into a new orbit. Source for the content is T.E. Raju Simhan's article for the Business Line. Now, what is ISRO's GSLV MkIII? India's heaviest rocket launcher, GSLV MkIII, is the third generation rocket from Indian Space Research Organization. The project to develop it was approved in 2002 with a mandate of achieving the capability to launch a four-tonne class satellite to geosynchronous orbit. Weighing 641 tons, which is equivalent to a large aircraft, GSLV MkIII made its maiden launch on the 5th of June 2017 from the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota. The launcher is capable of lifting 4-ton class satellites to geosynchronous transfer orbit and about 10,000 tons to low Earth orbit. The heavy rocket costs around 400 crore rupees. In June 2018, the Union Cabinet approved 4,338 crore rupees to build 10 such rockets over a 5-year period. Now, what is the rocket's configuration? GSLV MkIII is configured as a 3-stage vehicle with 2 solid strap-on motors, 1 liquid core stage, and a high-thrust cryogenic upper stage. The S200 solid motor is among the largest solid boosters in the world, with 204 tons of solid propellant. The L110 stage uses a twin liquid engine configuration with 115 tons of liquid propellant, while the C25 is configured with the fully indigenous high-thrust cryogenic engine with a propellant loading of 28 tons. The overall length of the vehicle is 43.5 meters with a gross lift-off weight of 640 tons and a 5-meter diameter payload fairing. The powerful cryogenic stage enables it to place heavy payloads into LEO or LEO, that is low Earth orbit, of 600 kilometers altitude, as was witnessed in the recent launch of 36 satellites of OneWeb. Now, what are the other launches vehicles that ISRO has? India has 2 operational launchers, the workhorse and most reliable launcher, PSLV, that is Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, and GSLV. The next variant of GSLV is GSLV MkIII. Now, what is the significance of GSLV MkIII's recent launches? The Chandrayaan-2 spacecraft launched on the 22nd of July 2019 into its planned orbit with a perigee of 169.7 kilometers and an apogee of 45,475 kilometers was a highly complex mission. It represented a significant technological leap compared to the previous missions of ISRO, comprising an orbiter, lander, and rover to explore the unexplored south pole of the moon. The recent successful launch of OneWeb satellites makes India a cost-effective destination to launch commercial satellites. So now what's the next major target for GSLV MkIII? GSLV MkIII is identified as the launch vehicle for Gaganyaan mission, which aims at carrying 3 crew to LEO and bring them back safely to a predetermined location on Earth. Now, where does India stand today in the satellite launch market? India has over the last 2 decades built a solid foundation for rocket launches. The ISRO, through its commercial arms, has earned around $279 million as per July 2022 data in foreign exchange by launching satellites for global clients. ISRO has been providing launch services for customer satellites since 1999. More than 350 customer satellites from over 30 countries have been launched by PSLV. With the recent launch of OneWeb, GSLV has made a grand entry into the commercial launch service market for heavier satellites. Now, finally, what more should ISRO do to become the go-to player in the satellite launch business? India has managed to enter the big league of being a cost-effective destination to launch smaller and lighter satellites. The same cannot be said about the heavier communication satellites. GSLV is yet to prove itself as a reliable launcher of heavy satellites. ISRO needs to establish that first. The challenge going forward is to have reusable rockets that will help in reducing the cost further.